I got Algebra 2, Lecture 4, 5, and 4, 6, OASA 2N13. Student will multiply matrices and identify products that are undefined. Okay, so that's what we're going to try to do. Let's talk about what we're going to be doing here. Get this where you can see it. If A is a matrix that's M by N, remember we go rows by columns. If it's an M by N matrix and B is an N by P matrix, then the product of the two matrices is going to be an M by P matrix. I'm going to show you what that means here. Let's say that A is a 3 by 2, 3 rows, 2 columns, and B is a 2 by 4, 2 rows by 4 columns. The product will be a 3 by 4 matrix. That's what this says right here. Product is going to be M by P. So that's what this means within the context of this problem right here. We're going to wind up with a 3 by 4 matrix, and in order to be able to multiply them together, well, this is rows by columns, the number of columns in the one on the left has to be equal to the number of rows on the one on the right, or your multiplication is going to be undefined. So we want to check for both of those things before we start multiplying, and I'll just jump in and start doing some, and hopefully it will make sense. Here we go. Multiply if possible. I like to say, well, this is 2 rows by 3 columns. I like to put my dimensions there. And this is going to be 3 rows by 2 columns. So what I've got here is a situation where I can see that I can multiply these together. Okay, the number of columns is the same as the number of rows in this one. The number of columns in this one is the same as so I can do the multiplication. Okay, and I'm going to expect my answer to be, my product to be a 2 by 2 matrix. I'm going to multiply a 2 by 3 by a 3 by 2, and I'm expecting my answer to be a 2 by 2. It will be a 2 by 2. And here's how this works. We're going to take the top row and stand it up vertically. 3, 5, 4. And then multiply it by the first column here. So this will be the left column. So this will be top, left. And we're going to multiply all these. This over just a little bit. This will give me negative 12. Hopefully I will try not to make any arithmetic mistakes. Hopefully I won't. And we add those together. Where'd my little pocket brain go? Here it is. We add these numbers together. And I got negative 17. That's our top left element of our product matrix. Now I'm going to take this one and I'm going to stand it up again right here. 3, 5, 4. Stood this up here. I'm going to multiply it by this. Times 3, negative 6, negative 4. That's 9. I'm multiplying now. Negative 30, negative 16. And if I do my arithmetic correctly, 9 minus 30 minus 16 equals negative 37, if I haven't made a mistake. Now I'm going to take the second row and stand it up and do the same thing. This will be bottom left and bottom right. So here we go. Bottom left, 0, 0, negative 4. We'll stand that up and multiply it by this. sure I'm getting those written correctly. And I'm going to multiply them together. This will be 0, this will be 0, and this will be 20. And when I add these together, I'll get 20. That was easy. And now I'm going to stand this one up and multiply it by the second row. This is going to be bottom right. So bottom over here. What was it? 0, 0, negative 4. And I'm going to multiply it by the right column. 3, negative 6, and negative 4. And I'll multiply these together. I'll move this down just a little bit so it's not quite so crowded. And that will give me 0, 0, 16. And these answers right here are the elements of my product matrix. And they're in the right position. They're in the correct position. This will be top left, top right, bottom left, bottom right. And that is a 2 by 2 matrix. So here's my product matrix. If I multiply these two together, I should get negative 17 if I haven't made any mistakes, negative 37, 20, 16. So I multiplied a 2 by 3 by a 3 by 2 because I saw that the number of columns in the first one is the same as the number of rows in the second one. I knew I could multiply them, and I was expecting to get a 2 by 2, which is what I got. Okay. And let's see if I got that right. Got the answers around here somewhere. Negative 17, negative 37, 20, and 16. Yay! So there's our answer right here. Let's run through another one real quick. Okay, I'm gonna state my dimensions real quick. Rows by columns, I have 2 rows by 3 columns. And here I have 3 rows in 1 column. So what I'm expecting, I'm seeing that I can multiply these together. If these two are the same, then I can multiply them together. And I'm expecting my answer to be a 2 by 1. 2 rows, 1 column. So I'm just gonna want 1 column. Let's see how that works. I'm gonna multiply this. I'm gonna take this top row and stand it up. Whoops, sorry about that. And multiply it by this column. That will give me 0, negative 25, and 12. And I'll add these together. And that's negative 13, of course. So that was top. And there's only 1 column there, so it's the top, and this will be the bottom. So here we go. I'm going to stand it up. Multiply by these. And that will give me 0, negative 30, and negative 4. And when I add those together, I get negative 34 if I haven't made any mistakes. And so I've done everything I can do here. I'm expecting a 2 by 1, and so I've got 2 by 1. These are the elements of my product matrix. So negative 13, negative 34, if I haven't made any arithmetic mistakes. So I saw that I could multiply them together because these two were the same. And I was expecting a 2 by 1, which is what I got. And let's see if that's correct. Negative 13, negative 34, yay! I'm on a roll. Usually by now I've made half a dozen mistakes. I'm gonna take a cup of coffee. Celebrate 2 in a row. Let's see what we got here. Okay, looks like this is the last one. So here we go. I'm asked to multiply these together. As always, the first thing I'm going to do is state the dimensions. I have 3 rows by 2 columns. And here I've got 3 rows by 2 columns. And I see that these 2 numbers are not the same, so I can't perform this multiplication. This multiplication is undefined. In order to multiply matrices, the number of columns in the first one has to be equal to the number of rows in the second one. And that's not the case here, so undefined. And that is multiplying matrices. You can do this.